Alright, it's time to get serious about tearing down some of this nasty rotten wood. First up, the shelves are going to obviously have to come down, and then we'll see how much of this rotten plywood we can take off. Here we go. Well, we have a good news and bad news situation here. The good news is that all of this is really poorly attached and half of it is just practically falling off the wall. The bad news is that the bits that are attached to things that are not attached well, and as a result I can't really pry on them because they're just pulling away. And some of those are buried behind the OSB there. So I think what I'm going to have to do is get myself a reciprocating saw. I know that's a very common tool to use for demolition work like this, and I think that would be immensely helpful here. So I get to go buy a tool. Woohoo! Yeah, so that's going to be it for tonight, and I'll pick this back up tomorrow. Okay, as you can hear, it's raining cats and dogs out, but hey, at least I have waterfront property now. Unfortunately, I also have an indoor swimming pool. You can see lots of leaks from the roof right there. There's also quite a lot of water running down the inside of the walls here. Obviously not a good thing. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to take all the wood off. So that's actually what we're here to do today. I have my handy dandy reciprocating saw now. I don't even know if you can hear me over that rain. So we're going to try to cut out some of the supports that are holding those sheets of OSB up there and see if we can't get them out of the way so we can see just how bad the structure is back there behind them. So let's get started. And that's one section of the building that has been stripped down to the walls. So some interesting discoveries. Thinking the mice were really fans of this. Either that or somebody tried and failed to insulate. Not entirely sure which is more likely. There's an awful lot of crud on the floor over here too, so who knows. Also, we've got some issues here. So that's the thing that actually I'm not 100% sure what that is. I guess this is the strapping that the walls are attached to. And actually both of those top two are rotten. I don't know if you can see that second one is also bad. So that will need to be addressed at some point. Otherwise, I mean, everything's wet, but this down here doesn't look too awful rotten, which is surprising given how much water is running down it. Although I guess most of the water is coming down that gray and behind it, so maybe it's not so bad. But yeah, it's progress. So now on to the rest of the walls. Just had to stop and say that is disgusting. I'm really glad that I'm tearing all of this stuff down because that's just gross. So back to it. So my plan was to try to save all of these shelf brackets, even though a bunch of the shelving material seems to be kind of rotten and not so good. Unfortunately, and I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but they stripped almost every screw that they used for mounting things to the shelves, which is making it... Oh, wait a minute. Those are square head screws. No wonder. Aha! All right, I take it all back. I just have the wrong bit. Excellent. Hopefully I have the right bit down in that handy dandy toolbox, and we'll see if we can actually save that shelf now. Cool. Alright, unfortunately last night the camera ran out of memory card space before I finished, so you can see I've actually finished the entire wall over here, and we had a little mishap right at the end. Glad that wasn't me, although it also probably says something about the quality of this OSB, but yeah, so next up is this wall, which should be a little bit interesting because this has that weird exhaust thing hanging on it, so I have to figure out how to get that down from here. And it's all notched into the floor joists up above, sort of floor joists, I guess. Technically floor joists. Hope those don't all come down. Looks like they're nailed in. Alright, so anyway, first things first, so I don't drop anything on my fancy new old tractor. Probably move that out of the way and then get to work on the rest of this. Here we go. Had to stop again, found something else highly disturbing. As you hopefully could see from the time lapse, this whole rotten pile of whatever right here was just covered up by another sheet of plywood that they screwed up. So I don't know what they were thinking. It's not like that fixed this, but yeah, there we go. So now I'm gonna fix it right, tear it down. And I'm going to put my mask back on because who knows what kind of nasty stuff is in there. All right, back to it. Okay, a couple of new things that I found here. Actually, I forgot to mention earlier, a whole bunch of hornet's nests, so that's super fun. Fortunately, there don't seem to be any residents at home. This is also a rather janky looking repair to the wall. If I pull this open a little bit here, I don't know if you can see that or not. There's actually a light out there because this is outside. So that may explain why this was so rotten. Also, I think there's water running down right here because for some mysterious reason they decided to leave the broken panel on there and just put a new one over top of it, which shockingly wasn't very weatherproof. So yeah, this is probably the nastiest spot I found so far. Obviously we have a roof leak over here too, you can see. So yeah, that'll be fun to fix. And I think I'm going to knock off for the night. It's still raining, as you can tell. Actually, I'm not sure it is raining. That may just be dripping off of the tree at this point. But I'm going to stop for the night. It's getting kind of late, and I got a bit of a late start tonight because I was out shopping for supplies for the next project. Since I got about half of the garage done now, I'm probably going to stop there with the teardown of these walls because I have something I want to park right about here. So my next big project is going to be trying to fix all of the holes in the roof, like that one. That doesn't want to focus. Oh well, you get the idea. There's a big hole in that panel, needs to be fixed. There are several other holes and panels over here as well. And it would be nice if I could get the gutters fixed so that water stops running down the inside of the wall over here. So, coming soon, I guess. And here we are, day 3 of demolition. I think my plan for right now, since I'm a little short on time and I'm not quite up for trying to take down all of these shelves or deal with the electrical over in the corner there, my plan is going to be just to do this one section that's fairly exposed already, and then in preparation for doing this corner, I'm going to try to get some of all of this garbage cleaned up. There's all kinds of glass mixed in with this dirt over here, so I guess most of this is probably going to have to get shoveled into the garbage can here, because I'm not throwing a whole bunch of broken glass out into the yard out there. And yeah, I guess that's about all I got to say about that. I will go ahead and get started and switch to the time lapse. Okay, bad news. Turns out all of that dirt that I just shoveled out is kind of heavy. And even at half full, the bag is already too heavy to lift. So, yeah. I guess I'm going to get to shovel some of that back out of there and into a different bag, which is going to be super fun. And I may not do it tonight because, frankly, I don't feel like dealing with that right now. And I have some other stuff to do, so I'll pick this up again next time. Okay, I'm back again, taking another crack at this corner and all of the broken glass and dirt and junk that's down there. As you may recall from last time, or you probably just watched this since I'm probably going to cut this all together, I put way too much in that trash can right there, and I can't lift the bag out of it anymore. So I'm going to have to first dump all of that out, or at least a bunch of that out, so that the bag is manageable, and then I'll try starting to fill up another bag and see if I can keep that one at a tolerable weight. Well, it's progress. As you saw, hopefully from the time lapse, I've taken out a whole bunch of stuff here. Left a little pile over here in the corner because that looks to be just gravel and dirt. There isn't all of the glass and insulation or whatever was over in this other corner here. But you can see pretty much down to the concrete. You were lucky that the time lapse doesn't have sound, because the sound of the shovel sliding the concrete was fairly awful. So yeah, obviously some more cleanup needed here, although it's debatable how much cleanup I want to do, since, as you probably saw in a previous video, there's a ton of water that comes in through here, and I mean, you can even see it's still kind of damp. You can see the line there where the water was. So until I fix the drainage issues on the outside, which probably have something to do with the fact that the dirt is coming in right under the walls over there, which suggests that it's not graded correctly. Also, there's a big mound right outside of that wall there on the other side, so I'm sure that's where a lot of the issues are coming from over here. But it's progress. There's a whole lot of dirt and gravel and glass and insulation, and who knows what else was over there that is now bagged up and ready to go. At some point, I'm probably, well, at this point, looking at this pile, I am 100% definitely going to be getting a dumpster delivered out here, because I'm not trying to haul that all to the dump in my pickup truck. It's going to take forever. So, I think that's going to be it for tonight. It's getting late. I'm tired. That was a whole lot of dirt and crap to lift. So I'm going to call it. Well, here we are on day 4, 5, I don't know, I've kind of lost track, of cleanup and demolition. Tonight, going to be trying to take care of this wall over here. Unfortunately, as you can see, I've been kind of using it for storage over here, so I'm going to have to move some stuff out of the way first. And there's a whole bunch of shelves over there, so I'm going to have to take all of those down, but at least I know that they used square-headed bits this time, so it'll be a whole lot easier. Alright, here we go. Alright, time to tackle the nasty electrical corner. Obviously going to have to shut off the electricity to the wires that are running over those sheets of plywood. And it'll be interesting to see what I find behind there because those sheets are looking pretty wet and rotten, so could be nasty. Also, this is the corner that looks like it has siding laid behind it for some reason. Obviously going to have to leave the sheet of plywood that the electrical box is hung on. Fortunately, it looks like the surrounding wood is not tied into that anyway, so I should be able to tear it off without messing with the box itself. Alright, I think that's it for the intro. Let's get to work. Well, that was fun. I seem to have found the one section of this building where something was actually put together well. That section in particular, they had actually like framed in a wall behind it. So it took a bit of doing to actually pull that all down. It's also some of the thicker OSB that they used in the entire thing. And that would be why I found insulation over in that corner, because apparently they tried and failed to insulate that one panel, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure what they were doing. Maybe trying to keep the electrical box warm or something. Anyway, I have a whole bunch more shelving. Got myself quite the little lumber yard here. So I'll have to see if I can come up with something to use that for. Most of that lumber is actually fine, so I don't really want to just throw it out. And yeah, you can see This is why there was so much dirt over in that corner. The wall only really goes down to about maybe a foot from the ground over here for whatever reason. Oh, and it's open all the way to the outside. You can actually see right through the gap there. It won't focus. Trust me, you can see through that gap. It goes right outside. All right, well, that's it for this section. I guess next up is the one over here behind the workbench. So I'm gonna have to move all this stuff out of the way, and then hopefully we can finish tearing that down tonight. Had to take a break just to show you this bit of brilliance. So, let's say your screw doesn't quite fit the hole, it's too small, your bracket is falling down. Do you get a washer? Do you get a bigger screw? Nah, let's just put more screws in. 4 of them. And a couple more just to make sure that the side doesn't come loose. Yeah. All right. Oh, and on a related note, I gave up trying to take this thing off. It is on there really tight, and I don't have any tools that are good enough to pull that off. So I just took the Sawzall, cut a strip. Hopefully I'll be able to get it out of there without tearing it up through the wall or something. But we'll see. All right, now to take out that last bracket and then get started on the plywood. OSB, whatever. All right, I'm sure the time lapse isn't going to do it justice, but that was a giant pain in the neck to take down. The shelf was in there surprisingly well, and it also had electrical wires running through it, which I didn't notice until after I'd taken all of the supports down, so that was fun. And as you can probably hear, it's decided to start raining again here. And now that the plywood is down, you can also see that there is water running down the inside of the wall back here. Wonderful. Oh, I missed the nasty particle board. All right, well, I'll have to go get that as soon as I'm done with this. Anyway, other than that one little tiny piece of junk, I'm pretty much done. In case you're wondering, this pile is about chin high on me, and I'm 6'5". So, yeah, dumpster is definitely going to be my best option there. Otherwise, we are pretty much clear here, which is a big improvement over the pile of rotten wood that was in here before. Well, I mean, it's still in here, but it'll be going soon, and it'll be a whole lot easier to get out. Just carry it out to the dumpster. Yeah, so that's it. Obviously plenty more cleanup to be done in here. I mean, that corner alone is still a bit of a disaster. But I feel like the most labor-intensive part is over, so that's really good progress. Maybe I can get to work on trying to fix some of these issues on the outside properly. One thing that's fun over here, and I don't remember if I pointed it out on my walk around, but apparently they tore a big hole in the building over here too at some point, and that's what that random red patch is outside. So I think that's it for now. Hopefully that's my last demolition video, or the last section of my demolition video, and we can get to more fun stuff from now on. Probably not, there's still a lot of issues here, but yeah, making progress. Thanks for watching.